So before we... Oh, that's a bit... Oh, fucking dick. So before we start, I just want to quickly address a couple of things regarding the channel and content and stuff like that. So due to the ad revenue dropping and all that, I'm not going to be doing as many, you know, I don't want to say high quality, because obviously I still intend to, I'm not going to do shit videos, like, that's not what I mean, but I mean, like, you know, videos like Wishlist, like AC What If, like a new series I'm going to start called Assassin's Creed Explained, which is going to be interesting, and we'll talk about that maybe at the end of this video. You know, those kinds of videos that take a lot of research and writing and editing and that kind of thing. I'm not going to do as many of those. I'm going to aim to do 2 to 3 a week, maybe, something like that. And then if I do upload on the other 2 days, it'll be something more like this, more discussion-y, because there's no point in putting so much effort into something if it's not going to give me too much back, but I still want to do it, and I still want to be able to upload, so I'm just going to try and compromise, as well as trying to stream a lot more than I have before. But today, we're going to get into the topic of when are we getting the announcement for the next Assassin's Creed game, and when's it going to come out? Are we going to get the announcement this month, or we're going to wait till E3, and is it the game going to come out this year or next year? What do I think? Because it's been a while since we've talked about it. I've kind of been a little bit, you know, just kind of, I guess, low-key about it. I've been talking about it on Twitter sometimes, but on YouTube, I kind of just don't touch upon it that much, because it's just, we did so much Empire stuff that I'm like, I don't really want to touch it, but I'm thinking, we're getting so close to the announcement now, it could be any day, why not go ahead and talk about it? So, that's exactly what we're going to do. Alright, so, Assassin's Creed, codenamed Empire. We're just going to call it the next Assassin's Creed game, because if I say Empire one more time, I'm going to slit my wrists. I've already done it. I mean, I'm going to slit them again. But Assassin's Creed, yeah, we know it's had a year off. So, my theory was always they'd announce it earlier on in the year rather than later in the year, because they're going to want the longest amount of time they have to hype it up to get people ready for the next Assassin's Creed game. So, to me, I always thought it would be announced in March. And it wasn't, of course. Then I was like, okay, April. Wasn't April. We're in May now. And due to their track record for recent games, looking towards Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Watch Dogs 2, they've announced games in May. I thought that was simply because they didn't want to announce it too early on, just because it was close to their other releases. But I guess not. I guess it is just because they want to announce things in May. Now, this points towards, I guess, them announcing it this month. And when I say this month, I mean it'll be mid-month. I reckon May the 12th through to May the 20th, sometime during that period. Now, what the announcement will entail, I don't know, and whether it'll even happen, I don't know. Part of me is thinking they'll save it for E3 at this point. You know, then their brand new Assassin's Creed game, it makes sense to unveil it at E3, especially when they've gone this long without actual leaks, other than the information we got at the beginning of 2016. It's kind of an insane thing for Ubisoft. They always get their game leaked, and they haven't. So part of me thinks maybe they'll just announce it at E3. But another part of me says, well, Ubisoft don't do that ever. They always announce their games before E3. Always. There's never a time, I don't think, when they've announced a game at E3, other than their, you know, new IPs like Watch Dogs 1, like Steep, that kind of thing. The Division. Those are the kinds of things they announce at E3 when they're new. But, you know, continuations of franchises, they're always things they're going to announce beforehand, then say, show up to E3, and we'll show you loads more. That's the thing they normally do, and I mean, I think that's what they're going to do with Assassin's Creed. Now, I could be completely wrong, and there are two parts of me that are saying they'll wait for E3, or they'll announce it in May. Of course I want them to announce it in May. Of course I do. I want to be talking about it, I want to be making content on it. I want the community to be talking, like, I want to be able to start talking about this new Assassin's Creed game like it's actually a thing. That's what I want, and I mean, obviously, we've been talking about it for, you know, a year and a half now, and it's not, they haven't said anything, and I'm hoping we get the announcement this month, whether it's a teaser, whether it's just a short trailer, because, I mean, all the companies are doing it. We got Destiny 2, we got Call of Duty, we got Shadow of War. You know, there's all these games that are being announced beforehand. Obviously, they're going to be showcased at E3, of course, they're huge games, but they're being announced beforehand. We're getting to see some trailers, some gameplay, and Ubisoft being Ubisoft, and the fact they've done it in the past, leads me to believe that we're going to be getting an announcement for Assassin's Creed before E3. Now, what are they going to show? What will they show? What do I think they're going to show? Well, I think what we'll see is similar to all these other companies. Now, I don't know whether they're going to go all out with this. It's been a while since Assassin's Creed. This is the next step. This is their soft reboot, and if you don't know what that means, it means, think Star Wars The Force Awakens, that kind of thing, where, you know, it's a reboot, it's a new story with new characters, but it's within the same universe, old characters appear, it's, you know, a continuation, but it's this new beginning, this jumping on point, this start for this new arc and this new story with these new characters. You don't really have to play the rest. The games will fill in the universe as you play, and the other games you don't have to play. Obviously, they're cool, and there'll be fan service to those, but the games coming Empire onwards will fill in the story. You don't need to play the previous ones, and that's what a soft reboot is. I'm incredibly happy about that. It means we're going to see, hopefully, a new start to the modern day, a new modern day arc with Juno, new ancestor stuff, but it's still in the same universe that, you know, we've been in for 10 years now. And to me, I think this is something they don't want to give everything away to at once. They don't want to go, here's a trailer, here's the gameplay, here's pre-order, here's, you know, what the game looks like, here's the name, here's everything. They don't want to give that all out once, right? They want to save some stuff for E3. They want to keep people wanting more, because that's, you know, good marketing. And so I think what we'll get is in a couple of days, like, ideally for me, this is what I would expect for Ubisoft to do based upon their other games, is in a couple of days. I mean, if assuming we don't get a leak like we did with Syndicate, like we did with Watch Dogs 2, like we did with Unity, blah, blah, blah. Assuming that doesn't happen, I think in a few days, we'll get an image pop up on their Twitter, really, really vague, saying, this date, tune into our live stream, tune into our channel. This is when the reveal will happen for Assassin's Creed. They won't give us the name, they won't give us anything, just maybe a few, you know, little hints here and there with the background, with the font, but it'll be Assassin's Creed. But they won't give us any more. Then in the next few days after that, when it gets to the date they've announced, they'll release a trailer, you know, maybe a cinematic trailer. I think that will probably be most likely. Not the cinematic trailer, I don't think, that we get at E3, but a shorter version, you know, a teaser version, similar to what we got for something like Revelations, and they'll show that, they'll upload that to their YouTube channel, and it'll show the name of the next Assassin's Creed game, it'll give us a vibe, show us the time period, give us little teasers here and there, and then it'll say something like, tune into E3 this date for the full gameplay reveal or whatever. Information coming in the next few days, blah, 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 blah. That's it. I think that's what we'll get. I think that's what's going to happen, because we're so close to E3 now that there's no point in them revealing everything now. I think we'll get a teaser trailer that'll show a good amount, a nice amount. It's not just going to be like a few images, not just like, you know, 30 seconds long. I reckon we'll get a good 1.5 to 2 minute teaser trailer, which will be really, really cool. Maybe more 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. But I think that's probably how long it'll be. And then they'll say, wait till E3, we'll show you everything there. And then when you come to E3, then that's when we get the full cinematic trailer. That's when we get the demo. That's when we get the interviews, the information. We get everything, pre-orders, all that stuff. I could be wrong. They might decide to do a full gameplay reveal beforehand, like all these other companies have done. But I think the reason they've done it is because it's so far before E3 that it's okay to do that. And then people will want more at E3. Also, these other companies don't have press conferences at E3. I know Call of Duty does, and that's why they haven't shown any gameplay yet, because they're going to show that at E3. And I think Ubisoft will do a similar thing to Call of Duty, whereas Shadow of War, they've shown gameplay of that. Destiny 2, they're showing gameplay of that very, very soon. And it's because those games, they don't have press conferences dedicated to them, whereas Call of Duty has a huge spot in the Microsoft press conference, and I'm sure Sony will do the same as well, have show some Call of Duty possibly. And Assassin's Creed, of course, Ubisoft has their own press conference. That's where they'll showcase Assassin's Creed, so they get to give themselves the spotlight at E3 with something like Call of Duty, with something like Assassin's Creed, and so that makes sense for them to, you know, wait until E3 to give themselves the full spotlight and go, okay, here we go. But if they didn't have that, it would make sense to show gameplay beforehand. Now, they've shown gameplay beforehand before. They have done that with something like Watch Dogs 2, just simply because everyone didn't like Watch Dogs 1. They wanted to showcase it before, you know, E3. They wanted to give people everything. Now, with Assassin's Creed Syndicate, people didn't like Unity. They wanted to show everyone Syndicate, what they'd improved upon before E3, because they wanted to get people on board as early as possible. Now, with Empire, I don't think they have the same issue. All they have is reselling Assassin's Creed. They're like, we need to make another Assassin's Creed, and this is our new game. I don't think they have anything to prove this time around. I think they proved they can improve. They proved that Syndicate improved on Unity, and that's what they need to do. They need to prove that they could do better than Unity, whereas this game, I think, They don't have anything to prove, and so it makes sense to wait until E3 to show the gameplay, but I could be completely wrong again. I could be, but this is just what I think and what I expect. Now, in terms of when the game's going to release, when do I think we're going to see the game? Is it going to be this year? I think they want to get it out end of this year. That's what I think they want to do. But I think if they need to delay it, they will. And they'll, I think, see, originally I did think they'd delay it till an entire year, to the end of 2018. But after speaking to Tyler and a few other people, it does make sense they want to release it the first quarter of 2018 if they had to delay it. Just simply because it's enough time to delay to fix any issues. Plus, it's become a super popular time to sell games. Horizon Zero Dawn, Ghost Recon Wildlands, For Honor, Mass Effect Andromeda. You know, it's a lot of game companies now sell their games, like really good games that sell really well at that part of the year. And it's become very, very popular for selling games. And I think that Ubisoft will probably decide to do that and be like, well, if we need to delay it, let's do it. Let's delay it till the beginning of 2018. And I think that's something that they'll definitely do. Rather than trying to compete with, you know, Red Dead Redemption 2 at the end of this year, which is insane, and all the other games coming out, I think it makes sense to delay it till the beginning of next year. However, I still believe they want to get it out this year. I think that's something they've aimed for, and I think that's something they want to do. But I also think if it's not ready, they will save it until the beginning of 2018. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think we'll get a trailer and announcement before E3, or do you think they're going to be saving everything for E3? I'll leave a poll on this video in the corner if you want to go ahead and vote on that, so we can see what you guys think. If you want to stay up to date on what I'm doing with videos, go ahead and follow me on Twitter. The link is in the description. And if you want to support myself and Tyler for just $1 a month for a bunch of extra content, you can do. Head over to the top link in the description. Go over to patreon.com/as always. And subscribe if you are new to the channel, because I'll be keeping you up to date on all things Assassin's Creed, and of course talking about the Empire announcement when it eventually does get announced. We're very, very close now, and I cannot wait. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Leaping from my places, rivers are flowing red. Now we're defying, now we're uniting. Go watching from the skies, these streets are burning up. They're starting fights here, I'm gonna take it to them all.